Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to get this up, so maybe you have something to watch when you're digesting and just kind of sitting around, don't have anything else to do. Before I get started, I just want to say this video is in no way sponsored by either Axial or TRX4m. I bought both with my own money. These are 100% my thoughts, and I am not being influenced by anybody. Just putting that out there. So the point of this video is to talk about the TRX4m now that I've had a chance to drive it. In my last video, which I'll put up here, I hadn't had a chance to drive it yet. It was just kind of unboxing and first impressions. If you've watched my other videos, which I'll have linked down below in the description, I've had a chance to drive the TRX4m, and hopefully you enjoyed watching those videos. I have a ton of fun filming this, and I wanted to talk about it now that I've driven it. So right off the bat, one thing I noticed right away after driving this is how stable and planted it felt. It just kind of handled whatever I threw at it, and I was really surprised given how top heavy the body is, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I thought for sure this thing was going to feel tippy and just not really that capable, but it really never did, with a few exceptions. Of course, when I really got off camber or started kind of going up a steep climb, I noticed the weight of the body there. But overall, this thing felt so good. It felt really, really capable. It felt planted. It felt stable. It never once felt squirrely or kind of unsure of itself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I was really, really impressed. I have a blast driving this. Absolutely love it. I love that it's waterproof, so I can kind of drive in and out of the puddles without worrying about it. I can try and do stream crossings, drive near a waterfall, and at no point do I really worry about it. I think that was my biggest takeaway driving this thing, is I never worried about it. It felt durable, it felt planted, it felt secure. At no point when it rolled over was I worried about breaking something. And that's what I really, really loved about this thing. It feels like a tank. It feels like I can throw anything at it, and I don't have to worry about it. I can't say that about the SCX24. Now, some people were a little bit upset when I initially compared these two. There are a lot of people who love this SCX24, myself included. So I just want to be on the record here. I really like this thing. I really do. I love driving it. I love filming it. However, in my opinion, the TRX4m is just a little bit better. It's easier to work on than this is. The hardware's bigger. The chassis is more well laid out. It just feels like they put a lot more thought into it. The SCX24 kind of feels like it was thrown together haphazardly. Like they put it together and you know, it works, but there's nothing on it that really impresses me, I guess I should say. Now, with that being said, I think the modding community, aftermarket support, there is a lot you can do with this to make it really, really capable. But right out of the box, I feel like it needs a lot of help. In a head-to-head competition, I think this is coming out on top. I think one of the advantages the SCX24 has over the TRX4m is the lighter body. If you put just a lightweight Lexan body on this, this thing would be incredible, absolutely unstoppable. I'm really excited to see what kind of dedicated rock crawlers people make with this, because with a lightweight body and moving some of the electronics around, I think you're gonna have an absolute killer truck on your hand. And that's not to say that the SCX24 isn't either. I think it just needs a lot more help to get there. You have oiled fill shocks versus just regular spring. You have a much more powerful motor right out of the box. I found the electronics to be a lot smoother and a lot better than the SCX24. And I know that's gonna upset some people who love this little truck. Let me remind you that I love it as well. The SCX24 was what got me back into radio control after 15 years of not doing anything. This is what brought me back in. So I have a very tender spot in my heart for this truck. But with that being said, again, the TRX4m I think just does a better job. So there were some people who thought it was unfair that I was comparing these two, given that this is 1/24th scale and this is 1/18th scale. They thought, well, this is a bigger truck, of course it's going to be better. They have more room to do stuff. These are really close in size, and I understand that this is a bigger truck, but they both use 1.0 size wheels. They both have a very similar axle width. They have nearly identical wheelbases. So yes, this is a bigger truck, but not by a lot. And so I think it's a much more fair comparison than people realizing, comparing these two. Now this body is a lot bigger than this one. I think if we were to swap bodies, you would see that, yeah, they actually are pretty similar. In my opinion, this is a fair comparison. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the aftermarket support from Traxxas for the TRX4m. Axial doesn't offer a lot for the SCX24. They kind of offer you the kit and then they're like, okay, good to go. And they rely on the aftermarket support to kind of modify it and everything. Traxxas has done an incredible job right out of the gate, offering metal drive shafts, metal links, the trailer, a light kit, anything really you can think of, metal gears, whole different transmissions and gear sets. Axial doesn't offer that for the SCX24, and so you have to go to third parties to find that. Is that a problem? No. Obviously this has been out longer, so there are a lot more option parts available than for the TRX4m, but I am so excited to see what comes along for this little truck, because I think with a little bit of extra support, this thing is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm tempted to pick up another one to turn into a dedicated rock crawler, because I feel like it is such a better platform to start with than the SCX24. And I know saying that is going to ruffle some feathers, and I just want to remind people that I do love this truck. I really, really do. When it comes down to driving experience for a stock vehicle, again, these are both very close to stock. This was better. I understand that this can be made great with a lot of parts and work, but right out of the box, this was better for me. Now, this is for the type of driving that I do. I don't do extreme, rock crawling and stuff like that. I do more of the trail riding stuff. This feels more planted, it feels more durable. The steering radius on it is incredible. I talked about it in my initial impressions video, but being able to just whip this thing around in no time at all was great. The wheel speed, for me, right out of the box was perfect. I know that there are low gearing options that people really seem to like, but for my needs, the speed is perfect. I can gun it, it feels responsive, it's quick, it zips along. This doesn't. So in the end, which truck do I think is better? Which truck is my money gonna go towards? If I were trying to decide between the two, which one would I get? And it's the TRX4m. I just think for $150, you get a lot for your money that just frankly isn't here in the SCX24. Now, which truck is right for you? Well, that's up to you. The TRX4m is great. The SCX24 is great. I don't have anything really that negative to say about either, because for the shortcomings in either truck, there are options to fix it. I don't plan on getting rid of the SCX24 anytime soon. I have 2 of these, and I'm gonna keep them, and I'm gonna continue to drive them and film them and have fun with them. I do have some big plans in store for the Gladiator. I think this is gonna go through a complete overhaul and just turn into a totally different truck, which I'm really excited for. And this TRX4m, I also have plans for. I've been talking to my local hobby shop to try and get some parts ordered, the light kit, some of the option parts. I wanna do an interior, inner fenders, all that stuff. And I'm really, really excited to see what this truck can become. So I think that's it for this video. I don't wanna take up too much of your time away from whatever it is you're doing today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy watching this. If you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I have a lot of content planned coming up in the next few weeks to a month or so. If there are any ideas that you would love to see for a video, comment below. I'm always looking for new ideas for a video, but that's it for this one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.